Hi, welcome to the Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnston Lynch. And as you know, we usually talk to interesting people from the community, share a little bit about themselves and what they do, and how I think what they do is important for you to know. And so today is just like any other day, we have a special guest with us, and that is Lynne Higgins from Sefton Community Pantry. How you doing, Lynne?
I'm good, thank you, Chase.
Now, Lynn, I gotta tell you, your story and journey is amazing, and everything else like that, and it's not. Sometimes when we hear the word pantry now, because we've come out of COVID, we always just think it's about like food banks and everything else, but you've been doing something that started even way back in 2007.
That's right.
I believe you started it off with something called the Seaforth Community Shop.
That's right, we did.
And where you were providing free clothes for people
That's
in the
right.
community,
Yeah.
and essentials
Such as bedding and household items,
Yeah.
really, and free books for the children and parents to promote literacy, because literacy in our area is quite poor.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to make sure that kids had access to free books.
But it also was something like what was important to you, probably Seaforth born and bred, is that area. Like for those who are from Liverpool, you're talking about that dual carriageway flyover type of area, and you were saying something about it was going into a decline because of like as people probably from there knows, like when the banks moved out and stuff like that, and that's when you really was really concerned about your community, wasn't it?
That's right. It was split in two by the dual carriageway leading to the docks, and we saw the shops in the villages, and especially really the bank was the first thing to start pulling out of the village. We had 3 banks at one time. Once the banks started to pull out, all the other little shops suffered, and so we wanted to be able to bring people back into the village to shop. And we thought if we open the shop providing free essentials, then it gives people more money to spend locally and reinvest in the community, really. And to get people back over from the other side of Seaforth. I wasn't born in Seaforth, I was born in Anfield.
All right.
Really deprived area then, back in the 60s, but it's heartbreaking that in this day and age, children are still suffering as young people did back in the 60s. It was post-war Britain. People having nothing. I didn't have any toys as a little one. Food was really, scarce. We didn't have the choice of food that children have now or that anyone has now. Our playground was what we called the Oller.
Yeah.
It was where, bombed out houses had been knocked down. We played in the bombed out houses.
Yeah.
I didn't have toys, but I had adventures.
Oh, yeah, so did I. I mean, I'm telling you.
Absolute the best time.
I don't know about my man Phil, but, I played in the backyard. It was all good,
Chase grew up in Harlem. So
that's right, I grew up in the hood.
Okay.
You can say it. I mean, it's all good.
that's about as bad as it gets, man.
That's why I know Scousers, and Scousers know me, bro. It's all good. But I think what's really important is that, like what you were just saying about the food and everything like that, because there was a point where you were fostering and stuff like that, but you discovered that there was the strong need of food, and you shared the story about that, about these 5 kids who went without food. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, we fostered for 30 years, so we have a lot of links really within social services. And one day a social worker contacted me and said, we've just been to do a home visit and there's 5 children in the house and there's nothing in the cupboards. Is there anything you've got? And at the time, because we focused on used clothing, although I laundered everything, I didn't feel it was right to have food in the same room because the shop was just a room at the end of the day. But it bothered me that there were children in this day without food in the cupboards. And I went home and told Mum, there's kids without food here, Mum. And she just said, right, take me to Asda. We went to Asda, bought some bags of groceries. And that's where the food aspect began, really. We're needs-led. People get in touch with us and say, there's a family here needing this. Can you do anything? And I might not be able to do it, but we try and find someone who can help in some way. that's where it
Yeah.
began, and it
Well,
sort
I
of
mean,
exploded.
I love that. I love that idea when you said like this acorn of an idea began with 4 bags of food,
That's right.
and and it went from one family, then that one family became 5, then
Yeah,
became 20,
that's right.
and I mean like, but I think what people need to understand is that when you were doing this, you weren't funded.
Absolutely not. We
I mean,
get
how did you manage though? I mean,
I like to enable our community. Really, part of what we did was, you know, we need your help.
yeah,
And if you haven't got cash to give us, not that we ever ask for cash, it's useful, it's necessary. But I prefer people to, if they can help, if you've no money to donate, then bring us a tin of beans. If you've got nothing to give, you can give us your time, because I can't buy people's time, and time is so precious. People are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
I can't get the food out without volunteers,
Right.
and so funding is important. It's not something I've focused on in the past. We need it badly because we're operating out of storage facilities, and there's a cost to that.
Yeah.
So we do need help with funding.
Yeah,
But-
no, obviously, and that's part of the plea here is about funding an organization like this, where it's the common good and everything. And I think you called it something a Payday Pound
That's
and
right.
everything, which I thought was like an interesting name for it. And can you tell us? So, how can people help with the Payday Pound? What that is all about?
So what we asked is, people think that when you donate money, it has to be a large amount. Every penny makes a difference to the organisation and what we can provide to the families. So we asked people if they would consider every day they get paid, would they donate a pound to the Sefton Community Pantry via their bank, just send it over every payday. And as a result of that, we have £200 a month is our regular
Yeah.
donations coming in, and we'd be lost without that. Every penny matters, but it certainly doesn't cover the cost of what we're providing.
Well, no, because I mean, obviously, once you started out helping people with clothes, then you moved into food, and then it was like became about, okay, maybe we could do this seasonally. So then you started creating Christmas hampers.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, then not just saying, hey, well, Christmas, that's one day out of the year.
That's
well,
right.
we'll look at school holidays and
That's
create
right.
holiday hampers.
That's right.
I mean, first of all, that's the good nature of your heart, but that's what's important about something like this is that people like yourself and the team of people that you're working with, are out there doing this, because this is pre-COVID times that you started.
That's right, absolutely.
Right, so that's what I want people to understand. This wasn't just like that whole because in the COVID times everybody was all about the food bank. Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's all get out and they support
Yeah.
ourselves and everything. Like they waited for a crisis. You didn't. You just did it because it was like, listen, I'm seeing kids starving.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it quickly evolved. We are needs led. People will come to us and say there's a family in crisis or whatever. When we were first asked for those groceries for that one family, and then it became 5, and then by the Christmas, so this was November, by Christmas there were 20 families needing our help. And then it made us realise, well, if they're struggling now, they're going to be struggling when the kids are off. So it very quickly evolved into holiday hampers.
Yeah.
And then it became, this isn't just about holidays. This is people need this every day of the year. And it's not the same people needing it all the time. It's people right across the board. And some people assume it's people who are addicted to substances. It's all unemployed people. They have this stereotype in their head of people who need help with food. It's not. We help people from all walks of life. Over COVID, we specifically targeted families who had working families who now found themselves with 20% less wages because they were furloughed. And if they're on a low wage in the first place or on 0 hours, struggling to manage, how are they managing? And right across COVID, we had professionals that we were supporting with food. There were nurses we were supporting with food. People who worked in education in the schools we were supporting with food. Police officers we were supporting with food. Your life can change in the blink of an eye.
Sure.
It doesn't matter what your job is, your life can change drastically. And that can be just for a very short period, or it can be over a long period of time. And so that's what we found, not just over COVID, but since really. It caused major problems at the time. It's caused lingering problems that will go on for at least another 5 years if we're lucky. And so we're still supporting different people for different reasons.
Yeah. So I mean, like, so during this time, I feel like I'm on a journey here. I mean, but you're following me and stuff like that. During this time, like, say you decided, okay, you were gonna open a community cafe.
That's right.
Right, and everything, and then that was going on for some time. But this year, you had to end up closing it because there was too many things going on,
That's
and everything
right.
like that.
That's right.
So one of those things that were going on was it's like, okay, so we're helping people with food, but something particular hit you, a new project. You know what I mean? Which let's call it like the prom project right now.
Okay.
All right, because like basically you told the interesting story about a time you took a young girl to look at a dress.
That's right. I mean, the prom project isn't a new project. It's been around for 10 years ago. We started that.
Oh yeah, I thought I would say that. That was like it within the time, right? Yeah, okay, go ahead. She's only trying to help. 10 years ago.
So it wasn't a new project. So 10 years ago, we started the prom project.
That's
we
right,
called it at the time.
Yeah.
And it was one of the children we fostered. We took her for a gown. While we were in the shop, you could see the shop front while she was trying something on. And I could see a young person at the window with her mum, absolutely blown away by her dress in the window. And she was so excited and just stoked up. She came in the shop, spoke to the assistant, and I could see mum say, "How much is that dress in the window?" And her reply totally crushed this young person. And I've never seen a physical change in someone like that.
Yeah.
They were devastated and they just turned around and left. And as that happened, our foster daughter came out of the changing room and she said, "Oh, she's in my class." And it made me realise that not all of the children going to prom were going to be able to afford prom.
Yeah.
So we spoke to the school and said, "Look, we've got the community shop. I'll keep gowns to one side, send the young people in, and we'll provide 10 of your students with the tickets to go." And as she came out, our foster daughter came out of the changing room, she looked amazing. The young person left. Our young person looked amazing. And, I said to her, "Oh my God, that dress is stunning. What do you think?" And she didn't have any confidence.
Yeah.
And she hadn't even looked at herself. And she said, "Oh, I don't know." And I said, "What do you mean you don't know? You look fantastic." And she said, "I haven't looked." And so I said, "Turn round." And she looked in the mirror, but she didn't look eye to eye. She looked from her feet. And as she looked, her whole demeanour changed and her shoulders went back. And she just looked at this vision in the mirror. And it was like she didn't realise that was her looking stunning. And I thought, every kid deserves that.
Deserves that moment.
And and the thing is, that young person who walked into the shop and was crushed has got no idea of 10 years on the effect she has had and the amount of children, young people that we've supported with not just prom, where we changed the name of it and we call it Dress to Impress with Prom Prince and Princess now, because the focus isn't just about prom, that's a once a year event, but it was more important for kids who needed stuff for interviews.
Yeah.
So another example, if you wanted it, was young boy.
Yeah.
And he came, went into the fitting room, came out looking absolutely incredible. And, you know, I said to him, mate, you look like a model. And his whole stature, shoulders back, chest out. And he was like, do I? And I said, yeah, you look like a model. And I said, how does that make you feel? And he said, powerful. And that's the thing. It's about empowering young people to walk into interviews and feel just as good as everyone who's in the room, and more importantly, just as good as the people who are interviewing him. Yeah. And so it's more important to get the word out there to the schools in our city. We've got this service. If you've got young people who need suits for interviews or funerals, we've seen so many kids needing suits for funerals lately, certainly over COVID, and it hasn't gone away. We support families with funeral wear. We're here. It's a free service. We give young people underwear, socks, shoes, shirt, tie, link sets so that they smell great and feel great from the inside out. So they go out there and they just feel as good as anyone else. Yeah. And we want the schools to come to us.
Now, you know, like when you had the shop in Seaforth, you had to move out of there. You had the cafe, you move out of there. And now I believe you said you're like in what you call like a kangaroo storage and stuff like that, you know. But basically what would help you and continue the project going is you're interested in a larger venue.
Absolutely. We have the boys' smartwear is over in Bootle New Strand in a ground floor. It's a separate place. So it's difficult managing volunteers to open that, and volunteers to open the gowns, volunteers to pack the hampers, to do the toys, the bed and everything else we do.
Need like more of a one-stop shop.
We need it all in one place, and we had hoped that we'd get a bigger unit at Bootle New Strand now that they've had this 20 million off the government and they're doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But we can't afford the costs that are implicated in that, really. There's no ground floor. Well, there was a ground floor venue we could have used, but they're going to use that for something else now. So it would be great to have a place which is in a shopping area so that there is footfall, so the kids can come in and feel that it's not a charity. You're coming in just like everyone else. Only some people will be paying, other people will not be paying. And it'll be kids who are it will be kids who are referred by the schools, which all of our project is. So schools see the kids coming in without breakfast, without underwear, without socks, winter coats, and they know the families who are struggling the most and will refer into us. You know, one of the families we supported, a school took food out to this parent. There'd been massive changes within the family. She'd taken a hamper out while the kids were in school, and this parent collapsed on the floor. The teacher had just said, look, we've been given these, don't know what we're going to do with them, can you help us out and take one off our hands? Because it's about preserving the dignity and the pride of the families that you're supporting, and not saying, do you need it? Because their immediate reaction is, no, I'm fine, it's okay, give it to someone who really needs it. But this person collapsed on the floor crying and said, you've saved my life today. And the teacher just said, look, it's just a box of food. And they said, no, you've saved my life because the kids had nothing for tea last night. They've had nothing for breakfast today, and there's nothing for tea.
Yeah.
And I don't get paid for 2 more days. And I thought, if I top myself, they'll go into care and be looked after. So you've saved my life. And so, you know, I say to people, every tin of beans matters to us. Every penny that's donated in matters to us, because it's potentially a lifesaver.
Yeah.
And it sounds drastic, but it's not.
Speaking of that, I mean, you told a really interesting story about a tube of toothpaste. Where did that lead to?
So we had
tube of toothpaste.
A simple tube of toothpaste was, again, hampers were at a school and in the office, and a young person had gone in, and this young person, as they left the office, help themselves and tucked it up their coat. And the teacher called them back and said, why did you take that? And they said, I just wanted my breath to smell nice like everybody else's. And, you know, people think it's all about giving people expensive stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really not. It's, you know, families struggling to buy toothpaste, toilet rolls, sanitary towels is massive.
The simplest of things.
The simplest.
Yeah.
Kids are kept off school because the parents can't afford to buy sanitary towels.
Yeah.
The government have stepped in and now they provide them to the teenagers. We provide underwear so that the schools have got a supply so that when the kids need them, they've got them. It's basic.
But it was from that moment that made people realize that, yeah, we need to, like, work hard and do more.
We do. And soap powder's another one. You know, we had a kid with a box of soap powder.
Yeah.
And, you know, after the Christmas, it was a headache for me when they came, to be honest, because there were so many of them and where are we going to put them and get them out? They went out, and after Christmas, the teacher rang to say we're having circle time, and she'd gone round the table asking the kids. She expected this young person to say, Miss, I got this box of Lego, because we ask people to give Lego. There's something magical about taking a million bits of plastic and making something fabulous out of it, and the sense of achievement that gives the kids. So we ask for Lego. And she thought, this little boy on the table, when she asked, what did you get for Christmas? She thought he was going to say, Miss, I got this big box of Lego and I made this. And he said, Miss, I got the biggest box of soap powder I've ever seen, and now I don't smell anymore. Wow. And for a 7-year-old to be aware that they're the smelly kid in the class, because if people think back to when they were at school, most people can remember there was a kid in the class who nobody played with because they were the smelly kids.
I'm sure Phil can remember why the kids didn't play with him. Do you remember that, Phil?
Because I remember that was you, though.
Phil, I'm trying to turn it on you.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm not making
you're not sorry.
I'm not making
All right.
fun.
So anyway, your organization survives on volunteers, and I mean, what I thought was really interesting was, even though you feel you don't have enough volunteers, obviously, especially being in those, you know, 2 different areas and stuff. You know, you said the age of your volunteers run from 60 to 70.
Yeah.
That means Phil has a place to go.
I have a future.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
future. You know,
I can give you something to do, Phil. Every day.
You don't have to stay at home, Phil. You got a place to go now.
Absolutely.
But no, I mean, I just think that's amazing, because it's like, you know, it's one of the reasons why I think you did come out, Phil, to do something, because when you're at that age of 60 or more, you know, the retirement age, as they say, you know, it's like, what am I going to do? Just sit around the house and do nothing? Yeah. You know, and then you have people who are actually giving service.
Absolutely.
And doing something for others and everything within the community, which I think is great. I mean, I think we should name like just like 2 of them, which you feel are like rock solid to you, which is Sandra and Chris.
That's right.
You know, because, you know, Sandra and Chris will watch this and wonder how come they've never been mentioned. You could thank Chase. But no, they're like your rock solid.
They are. And Chris is recovering from cancer. He's had breast cancer, so he's still recovering for that. He's absolutely amazing. He's there every day. And at the drop of a hat, if I need extra time, he's there and gives it. Sandra's me rock as well. But we've got Shirley and Jill and another Christine and lots of other volunteers who dip in and out. You know, Nicola's another girl that comes and helps us. And I'd be lost without every single one. You know, over time.
I think they also be lost without you, because you're obviously.
No, they'd relax without me. I work them hard. They'd relax. They'd have a chilled life.
They were like, how come she keeps telling us to do stuff?
do you know what's great? You know, if I'm not there, and at the moment I'm not there a lot, because I've got my dad's recovering from cancer, and I've got a teenager who's not in school, so I have a lot going on personally. They just know what to do. And I can, you know, they don't need the captain of the ship. They're well able to just get on and do it without me, you know.
It's kind of like one of those things where you ask, like, who can carry the baton when you're gone,
Yeah.
and everything like
Yeah.
that, because you started this project in such a long time ago, where it evolved and it's
That's
continuing
right.
to
That's
evolve.
right.
But also, if somebody's got to do this sort of work, then this is what you've got to do.
Yeah.
And to open those doors that are there to be opened.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's out there going to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly,
So-
and that
Yeah.
and that's kind of like what the plea is for, is to let people know what a project like yours has been doing in the background, you know, and everything, or in the foreground for those who actually been affected by it. But just to know that an organization like yourselves have been out there, you know, and not doing it for, like, you know, the community funding. Not like, hey, we all need it, right? But,
Yeah.
I mean, you've been doing it because of wanting to do it. So, I mean, at this point in time is where we usually would ask, you're like, how can people find you? Now, Lynne will go, I don't actually know social media. Wait a minute, I wrote this down. Do you need me to help you out? What's your website?
So I know the website.
Okay,
so
let's go.
I think. So
I'll let you know if you get it wrong.
So it's Sefton Community Pantry, cic.org.uk.
Yes, that's
Bingo.
exactly what it is.
Bingo, well
And
done.
the title will be on the screen
Yes,
just
brilliant.
as well.
Yes, it will.
And we
Yes,
have
it
our
will.
Facebook page.
Oh, they got a Facebook
We got
page.
two.
Oh, they're not that far back in the zone.
So we have
You have
Sefton,
Instagram?
we do, but I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But Sefton Community Pantry is our Facebook, one of them. And
I
Dress
just love
to
the honesty.
Impress with Prom Prince and Princess. Very long, I know. But
Dress-
that's
Dress
the
to
other.
Impress.
With Prom Prince
And Princess.
Love it.
So that's our prom project, but it's not really prom, is it? It's more about the other stuff. I mean, we have had funding down the years. We've had lottery funding back in the day.
You even said
But
today you just got funding from.
we did. Mersey Rats gave us some money today, and St James's Place gave us some a couple of weeks ago. Jamie Carragher does sometimes.
Jamie Carragher, especially Jamie Carragher,
Yeah.
you know, Tony Speed Foundation.
20,
You can all.
yeah.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
You can always. You can always donate and support, you know, because, I mean, obviously, it's an organization. I mean, I think you even said you supported about 27 schools.
That's right.
I'm not going to do the negative thing that was in there,
No,
like, but I
no.
mean, but you supported about 27 schools and everything. And this organization is definitely one to watch and the one to nurture, how shall we say, and everything else like that. So, I know what it is. Only because I didn't have a pen when she told me. So they have a Christmas party coming up,
Oh, we do.
what they've been doing for the past 5 years. Go ahead, tell us.
We started 5 years ago when we lost Mum. We lost Mum in the August, and we decided to do a Christmas party because Mum loved Christmas. She just went over the top for Christmas.
I love Christmas.
And so we had some disabled children we'd fostered over the years, and one Shawnee we'd had for 20 years. And so we thought we'd do a Christmas party in memory of Mum when we got disabled kids in the care system in, because we were foster carers. So we did it for about 150 people that first year, and it's at Flip House in Aintree. And Gorbin and Hardip, who run Flip House, are amazing people. They provide everything free, and they are just incredible. That first year we had a Mother and Father Christmas, and it was the real Mother and Father Christmas. So this is a shout out to the real Mother,
Just shout out to Chase, yeah?
real Mother and Father Christmas,
Come on,
to
Chase,
please get
get
back in
forward.
touch, because over COVID we lost touch.
Not trying to tell me that you don't have a Father
And
Christmas.
so we have it every year. We've got it on the 14th of December, and it's picked. That day is picked because we actually lost our beautiful special son on the 14th of December 3 years ago this year. So it's on his anniversary, and it's more about celebrating, not about it's a bad day because we lost him and stuff. And we were blessed with 20 years with him. He taught us so much. He impacted so many wonderful lives. And it's just a great time. So again, this year we've got 200 kids coming, and they'll be kids who've never experienced going to such a place like Flip Out, which is a trampoline park. Kids who had special needs. So Bootle Bucks Football Club, we bring some of the kids from there. We've got Kids Connect, which is another organisation that does disabled holidays for disabled kids. We bring some of those kids, some kids from the care system, and whoever we can. But we are on the lookout for the real.
What's the real?
Mother and Father Christmas, they were the real. I am telling you, you've never seen anything like it. So please, if you see this, if you know them, put them in touch with us.
Listen, Santa Claus,
we need them.
Stop being on the run. All right? I mean, seriously. Yeah, you know what I mean?
We need him.
All those viewers out there, I know he is.
14th of December at Flip House Aintree, 10 o'clock in the morning. We need you there for 9 to be ready. 200 kids.
Right, that
well,
absolutely.
Post up the chimney.
Exactly.
Anymore, is it?
I mean, and I'm pretty sure that on this website, you know, you have a link for people to do that Payday Pound. Do you?
No, not yet.
See, this is why she also needs social media support.
Tech-savvy people.
Tech-savvy people.
Absolutely.
See, that's what Lynne is honest with you.
I'm a dinosaur. I hold my hand up. I'm a dinosaur and my phone is a brick.
Yeah,
That's
see, look how honest is that. You know what I mean? So, I mean...
You're talking to the T-Rex from Harlem over here as well.
I am the T-Rex. Listen, I'm the T-Rex.
I can phone. I can text.
I'm the T. He just comes up with it. I'm the T-Rex from Harlem. But like, I gotta tell you, first of all, I'm just making a plea out there because she does want some volunteers.
Yes.
But social media definitely is key in this generation.
Absolutely.
You know, especially even in sharing this video and stuff like that. But like, it's just that your Payday Pound is an excellent idea. But if you just had like what they call like a Just Giving page on your website, then people could do that Payday Pound for you.
We're looking at someone to set up, you know, the QR code thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of those. We're looking at someone to do
QR code,
that.
look at that too. QR code.
I know it's a QR code thing,
Yeah,
but I
you
don't
just
know
don't know what it
does.
does. But yeah, I know
We
exactly.
need one of those.
Yeah, no.
Chase this to the barcode, you can see.
Right. Stop talking about my picture.
Me too.
But like, anyway, so yeah, but no, I think Just Giving site. So please help and support on this and everything. Then that'd be a great thing to do. So, and I just want to thank you for joining us. Has this been your first podcast?
It has been my first, probably my last. Thank you very much. I've been a nervous wreck. But thank you, it's been a great experience.
You did not come across as a nervous wreck. I like to think he was very gentle with me.
You were, but I'm just a nervous wreck.
Okay.
It's just how I am.
Well, guess what? We're at
Cameras
the end.
are everywhere, aren't they? Just like
they are, but you're fine, right?
you.
We're at the end and everything like that.
Woohoo! I survived.
You've done a great
You
job.
have survived. So I would like to thank Lynne Higgins.
Great job.
Please look out for the Sefton Community Pantry and everything like that. And please follow them on their website. And if you can support, you know, I love that idea, that whole Payday Pound. Nobody steal it and everything. And then continue to support this organization, which has been, you know, self-funded for so long, as well as the fact that they rely on you.
Absolutely.
Right? And if you think about it, like if they started that prom project 10 years ago, I'm looking at them prom kids that got their first dresses.
That's
They
right.
got their first suits. This is the woman that did it for you. You know what to do. All right. So until then, we out of here.
Can I just say one more thing?
Okay,
If
we
you-
were
if you
out of
can
here.
have a-
I
Just
don't know.
one more
Did you press the
thing.
button, Phil? Did you press?
Breaking the rules,
Did
she's
you press the
breaking
button?
the rules. No,
Just-
it's
She didn't
fine.
know I had a catchphrase.
Sorry, slip this in before your catchphrase. Just one more thing, really. We are based at Kangaroo Storage on Derby Road in Bootle. We are desperate for food, for chocolate goodies to make towers of treats, because we give every family a tower of treats. If anyone can drop off any kind of ambient food, so tins and packets of in-date food, no pasta sauce, please. I have a mountain of it.
Yeah.
That's the only two things I don't need, but we are desperate for food and goodies for the towers of treats. Drop them down at Kangaroo Storage Monday to Saturday, sorry.
These are more like
9
tin
till
food,
5.
not perishables.
Yes, non-perishables. Thank you. If you could slip that in, that'd be great.
Yeah,
We
got
can slip that
Well
in.
done, well
All right, all right.
Thank
Right,
Did you cut me off?
No, do you want to do another close then?
Yes, I would. I'd like to do another closer. Lynn, this is the closer. I would like to thank Lynn Higgins for joining me here today. And for now, we are out of here.